I didn't think I would wind up making a video for the second McDonald's promotional set. After all, the people who discuss the McDonald's promos only reference the original set from 2002, which, yes, I've tackled already. It was just a more nostalgic time in the early days of Yu-Gi-Oh! By 2006, we were in the GX era, coming off of the first emergency ban list. In that regard, it was nice to have something a bit lighter at the end of the year before moving into 2007 and all the fun that brings to the game. But hey, if I get the chance to talk more about McDonald's Yu-Gi-Oh cards than making a history video on the second one that, again, not many people are talking about over its more popular brother, well, I just couldn't resist like a McChicken paired with an Oreo McFlurry. Make sure you have some Mickey D's ready because your dinner is now served.
Wow, I've always wanted to see the D in action!
McDonald's Promotional Cards 2 is the name of the set, and it was initially released on December 22nd, 2006 in both Mighty Kids and Happy Meals. Should have been called Duelist Meals. Sadly, they did not come with a kick-ass CD, rather each meal came with one of the following toys: a wrist-mounted card shooter of various GX characters, Jaden Yuki, Zane Truesdale, and Aster Phoenix, and yes, there's no Jesse Anderson, which made me sad because my name is Jesse and I too love Crystal Beast. It should have had that buff guy with the weird voice.
My mommy says I'm really strong!
There was also a Wink Freebo level 10 Cyber End Dragon or a Destiny Hero Doom Lord card activator, or a Yami Yugi magic trick toy for card storage. Or you could receive an Elemental Hero Shining Flare Wingman card dispenser. There was also an Australian promotion that ran alongside a Hello Kitty promotion that did not have Master of Oz. Sad. Each toy included a pack that contained 3 cards, much like a tournament pack. Each pack came with 1 rare, so while there was no chase cards like a tournament pack with Mechanical Chaser, Morphing Jar, or Needleworm, you at least got something shiny for your troubles. Note that none of the monsters featured as toys were in the pack. Instead, with the exception of 2 cards with alternate art, the entire set were all new cards to the TCG, some OCG, and some completely brand new. And with a 20 card set compared to the 2002 set with 15 cards, there are plenty more cards to get here, just no rarities higher than a rare. So let's go to the card by card. I have to quickly say this because it bugs me. The original set suffix is MP1, while this set suffix is MDP2, which just bugs me to no end like a Goki pole. Coming in at set number 20 is Stone Dragon, originally from the OCG's Booster 7. Despite its name and flavor text, it's actually a rock type, but considering it's made from boulders and its name does include stone, I guess it gets a pass. At 7 stars and lackluster stats, having this monster as the final card of the set is actually fitting. 19 is Moon Envoy, also from Booster 7. I really dig this card's art. He's chilling so hard, and yet he's still threatening with his crescent pike that could cut through any wretched ghost of any attic. Straight from one certain Labyrinth duel, here's Dungeon Worm. Much like the Eliminator's deck, this worm just doesn't cut it. Hell, the OCG printing from Volume 5 had it as a rare instead of this common. What a downgrade. As an Eurobe recolor, we have Trachodon, which is a slightly weaker version at that. Its flavor text mentions it as a dragon, but it is most certainly not. At least you do need Trachodon for another card in this set. The other needed card is Flame Viper, which may be the weakest card in the set, another recolor this time of Serpent Marauder. At 15, it's the first effect monster. It's Zone Eater, which is not from Final Fantasy VI. When it attacks a monster, that card will get destroyed in approximately 1,000 years after the fact. What is this, a Metal Raiders card? The first of the fusion monsters we have is Practical, which is the sum of Trachodon and Flame Viper. He's another MRD-like card with subpar stats. Another fun-looking fusion monster is Aqua Dragon. Apart from Zone Eater, the rest of the cards are not in this set. In fact, Fairy Dragon would not be released until 2007, while Amazon of the Sea would have to wait until 2008. And due to the nature of fusion substitute cards, you can't even use 2 of them for one fusion monster, meaning you couldn't even summon Aqua Dragon at the time. And yes, you need 3 fusion materials for this beast. What a glutton! Any monster with such a high requisite should have wild stats, not this. Speaking of fusion monsters, look, it's another recolor. This time we have a recolor of both Ground Attacker Bugroth and Amphibious Bugroth MK3. Ground Attacker would actually be a fusion material for the simply named Amphibious Bugroth. Like Amazon of the Sea, Sentinel of the Sea would have a 2008 release. Gee, another fusion monster without the proper fusion materials? And I thought Cybersaurus was bad. The final of the vanilla fusions is a rather cool looking Kaiser Dragon. Also in need of Fairy Dragon, at least this guy only needs 2 materials unlike its dragon brethren. Dropping in at MDP2EN10 is Metal Guardian as seen in Panic's deck. It may surprise you that Metal Guardian is a fiend type, fitting its owner but not its name. Plus this fits the Duelist Kingdom card pool by having a high star count with mediocre stats, not unlike Dungeon Worm. Speaking of anime cards, Gokibor makes his debut here, and considering Flame Viper and other cards in general, Gokibor is not the worst card, certainly not as meme happy Weevil made it out to be anyway. Set this bad boy in face down defense and a Beaver Warrior can't even get past it. Set number 8 is pretty dope because it's Meteor Dragon. He's one half of the fusion materials for Meteor Black Dragon, despite that card not existing in TCG by this point, but hey, it's a start. At least we got a material before the fusion, so if you want to play this card specifically, then you could. Otherwise, he's nothing special. Lojin would get a reprint here in an artwork that was based on a panel in the manga. Neat. Onto an effect monster is White Horn Dragon. When it's summoned, target up to 5 spells in your opponent's graveyard. Banish them, and then increase the card's attack by 300 for each card. It's not a half bad effect all things considered, a bit of a surprise given the set so far. Whitehorn would get a special release in the GX Next Generation Special Edition set. Next up is the first of 2 spell cards. The first one is the equipped spell card Mist Body, which prevents the equipped monster from being destroyed by battle. It's a card that has potential, you know, equip to a monster that can't be destroyed by card effects, and you got some decent protection. After that would be the other spell, the Flute of Summoning Karibo. This is a quick play that brings out a Karibo or Winged Karibo from the deck and add it to your hand or summon it to the field. Not bad support for Karibo. The final 3 cards are all elemental heroes, befitting the GX era. First off is Burstinatrix with an alternate art. Number 2 would be the Fusion Mudball Man, one word, which is the Millennium Shield of the set. And finally we have the premier card, Elemental Hero Electrum. This hero is a combination of the 4 main elemental heroes, Avion, Burstinatrix, Clayman, and Bubbleman. He gains all their attributes, plus shuffles all banished cards into the deck. Not only that, but he also gains 300 attack for each monster your opponent controls with a shared attribute. A bit of a gimmicky card, yet cool nonetheless. Since you were guaranteed 1 rare per pack, you were bound to get Electrum, Burstinatrix, Mudball Man, Flute of Summoning Karibo, Meteor Dragon, White Horn Dragon, Gokibor, Metal Dragon, Mist Body, or Lojin. So the low end would be a Gokibor, with the higher end being Electrum or White Horn Dragon. Shame Aqua Dragon, Kaiser Dragon, or Moon Envoy weren't rares because I love their art way more than a Metal Guardian or a Burstinatrix. Comparing this to McDonald's Pack 1, the GX era McDonald's cards certainly are better. You have more effect monsters, monsters with better stats, and you still get those cool old school OCG imports. For whatever reason, none of these included trap cards. Not adding Hungry Burger was a huge missed opportunity, but I digress. I didn't know if this entry would be interesting or not by itself, but I like to think taking a step back from the intermediate year of 2006 Yu-Gi-Oh! And looking at a single fun set, bad card by bad card, is the break the game needed. A quick respite before jumping back into the grit of the matter. It's too bad we never got a 3rd McDonald's promotional set, for I can only imagine what it would be. Maybe I should make my own set one day. But now we get to move on to another wild year of the card game with a little less grease and a little bit more gadgets.